Warning, this video does contain spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2. You have been warned. Enjoy the video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and we're back for another Last of Us 2 video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing my predictions for The Last of Us Part 3, what Naughty Dog could do if there is a sequel to Last of Us 2. In the last video, I discussed why the ending hints a Part 3. This one's going to be covering more of the ideas of what they could go. I've heard people, and again, reading through the comments in the last video, there's a lot of possibilities you guys brought up, from prequels to certain different characters, new characters. We could have a lot of different possibilities on what Naughty Dog could do in the next game. Before we start this video, I'm going to set a simple like goal. Let's try to get 500 likes on this video, and be sure to subscribe. If you do enjoy this, I greatly appreciate that. I know we're a long way probably away from The Last of Us 3, but as we get more and more information in the coming years, I'll be sure to update you guys on the news, and especially if we get grounded on The Last of Us 2 and factions, which is rumored to be coming. We'll be covering that on the channel. So we're going to start with probably the most likely possibility, and we're just going to throw it out at the beginning. The Catalina Casino. We saw it at the end of The Last of Us Part 2's end screen, and this would probably hint a Last of Us 3 centralizing around Abby and Lev with the Fireflies and potentially Ellie meeting up. So we could again see another Ellie-Abby crossover, but instead of this game, I think with the Revenge, they're going to be working together. Whether Ellie's going to be okay with going back to the Fireflies to officially, finally, you know, if some other doctor pops up that could get the infection out of her, or if maybe the Fireflies go rogue and Ellie and Abby team up together to defeat them. Now, would The Last of Us Part 3 have a time skip like Part 2 did between Part 1, maybe a couple years? We already knew after the ending where Abby and Ellie fought and Abby almost killed Dina, there was at least a 1 year, 2 year time skip because Dina gave birth to the baby, and it looked JJ already looked about 1 or 2 years old based on the image. So there was already about, again, the game probably spanned between the first game 5 to 6 years, maybe even 7. And again, it wasn't confirmed how much time passed, but JJ looks about 2 or 3 years old. So you can realistically say 2 to 3 years passed. And after seeing the ending of Part 2, I also think Ellie's going to try to find that purpose again in her life. She's all alone, it seems, and really that conversation with Joel that they had about her having no purpose after, you know, Joel took that from her with the infection and all that, and how she couldn't get the infection out of her. Maybe she will start Part 3 looking for a scientist doctor to get the infection out and get an antidote made or something around those lines. That's my first possibility. Let's move on to possibility number 2. Now, possibility number 2 is centralized around the idea of Ellie leaving Dina and JJ, and then at the end, we don't see Dina and JJ. They're all gone, but there's little details we're going to take note of in a little bit later in the video. Now, this third game could likely show Ellie attempting to find Dina and JJ to make amends with them. If they were to do that plot line, it could set up another game for a whole slew of adventures, depending on where Dina or her son relocated. Are they back at Jackson? Are they at some other location? Dina didn't really seem adamant to go to Jackson when Tommy had been saying some stuff about it, and she said she was happy with life here, but she ended up leaving because of Ellie's quest for revenge. Now, could Ellie be traveling through another part of the United States looking for Dina and JJ? And from the minute Ellie left to go to California, it was a couple months, and we saw Ellie return at the end after the fight with Abby, but a couple details I want to take note of here. Now, before I get on to the next one, this is just basically the idea that Ellie goes on a hunt for Dina and the baby. Now, I'm going to discuss another possibility here, number 3. That is where Ellie is already with Dina and the baby, and she's looking for her purpose again. Now, a lot of people don't think this based on the ending, but there has been some comments. I've seen some people give me some interesting theories and stuff based on the ending of Part 2. And I want to discuss them here, why Part 2's ending might not be as bleak and depressing as you thought. So, I ended up finding this on Twitter. Someone actually ended up tweeting me this, and this is from a comment from this Ray guy, and he basically summed up an interesting theory. Number 3 is basically where Ellie is with Dina again, and she's finding her purpose. Now listen to this. I truly believe Ellie did have a happy ending. We just missed a few clues. Another YouTuber commented on the letter you find at the farm when you're with Dina and the baby. And it's from the baby's father's mom, basically Jesse's mom, saying they will always have a place in Jackson if they choose to come home. Also, if you notice, when Ellie leaves to fight Abby at the end, she's not wearing the bracelet Dina gave her. But when she returns, the camera zooms in on her hand. We were focused on the fingers missing, but looked completely past the fact that now she is wearing the bracelet, possibly meaning she has already been to Jackson and is living with Dina. She just went back to the farm for the guitar, but decided to leave it. This resembles her finally being able to accept Joel's death to end the cycle of revenge. Wow, now let's put this together. And some other things he said at the end. When she comes back to the farm, she's not hurt or not wearing any of her weapons. She doesn't seem surprised that everyone is gone when she enters the house. She doesn't call out Dina's name or anything. So yes, interesting theories, because again, she came back. It's obviously been another time skip since the end of the fight with Abby. So important details we need to recognize there. I'll discuss this more. We're gonna have a video this weekend discussing the ending and my thoughts. And this will definitely be one of the important thoughts. If there was a good, bad ending, sad ending, you know, there's all these possibilities, but this will be broken down in depth. That's a great thought from Ray. So shout out to Ray if you're watching this somehow, some way. Now, this would lead into another prediction that I can go, but let's stick to the one I have with number 3 here. Ellie will probably, in this number 3 one, find out about the Fireflies. Maybe she runs into Abby again somehow, some way. Something is going to set her off away from Jackson again. And I don't know what it could be at this point. If she is back at Jackson, Ellie's going to find out about these Fireflies. Because if Ellie finds out about the Fireflies returning, she's obviously going to probably want to meet them. And potentially, maybe, get that cure out of her. Because she's still really bothered by the fact that Joel didn't give her that chance. Number 4 is another likely possibility, and that is a prequel with Joel. Now, a lot of fans are angry that how Joel went in part 2, and maybe this won't completely fix it, but giving us something with Joel and Tommy, maybe a prequel starring them. Maybe you play as both of them in between maybe this 5-year time skip between part 1 and 2, or even before that, in between the 20-year time skip after Sarah died. I've always liked them to do something like this. I don't really see this being a likely possibility because I think they want to keep moving on in the future with all these characters. But seeing Joel and Tommy together would be, man, I think people would really be excited for this. I think this is very unlikely. Maybe even in one of the other possibilities I discussed, this could be part of the game. We could have maybe fill-in gaps with Tommy and Joel, maybe to explain this other group of Fireflies that Abby and Lev are with now at Catalina Island. Maybe. I'd like to play as Tommy at some point. I think Tommy's a good enough character. Even potentially seeing characters like Bill return, Maria, other ones, you know, just maybe having them involved with it in any way. Maybe even stuff with Tess we could see potentially. I always thought, hey, this world's so massive, we could bring this back. We can bring old characters back, and we could have little flashbacks playing as Joel or Tommy. Number 5 is with Tommy alone. Now, would they actually let us play a Last of Us game in the future with Tommy now? But after the concluding end of The Last of Us 2, we found out Tommy survived his fight with Abby. A lot of people assumed, but I even assumed that he died from the gunshot wound, but he ended up getting blind in an eye and pretty much crippled. So the possibilities of Tommy now being in the present, being playable, is just not likely. Tommy can't really fight on his own. He's probably going to need somebody to go with him, and that's why he really needed Ellie to go with him, or needed Ellie to do that job. But it's sad. Tommy's going to be a shell of himself just because of everything he went through, and I think, based on what I've read, nobody hates Tommy. Me and my homies, we all love Tommy. But that's going to do it for the video. Those are just some general thoughts I've had based on reading the comments last time. There's probably even more possibilities I could do. Maybe I can make a part 2 to this. But this weekend, expect a video covering the ending of The Last of Us 2, my thoughts, and what I thought of it, and a lot of possibilities on if it was good, bad ending, you know, what they were trying to tell us with it, and hope you guys enjoy. And after that, I'll be finishing up my walkthrough probably tomorrow, and we'll also probably be doing our review next week. So get ready. The Last of Us Part 2 reviews coming soon. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at DomTheBombYT, join our Instagram, DomTheBomb YouTube, or join our Discord to discuss Last of Us 2 with us. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all this weekend for our next Last of Us 2 video. You guys have a great one. Peace.
I'll soon be free from earthly trial. This body red in the old churchyard.